Does this have gluten? May I please have a gluten-free menu? May I please have a glove change? As victims of a celiac sprue disease, this tends to be your daily message. According to the University of Chicago's Medicine's Celiac Disease Center, they state that 1 in 133 healthy American people deal with celiac sprue. Now you're probably wondering, what exactly is celiac sprue? It's an autoimmune disease that targets your intestines whenever you have gluten. Whenever I was little, I would soon figure out that I would be diagnosed with this disease March 2020. I grew up with many intolerances and almost couldn't eat anything. Whenever I was 5 years old, I couldn't eat fried foods for the rest of my life, and I had no idea why. My stomach would hurt and I wouldn't be able to hold it in my system. As I got older, I developed other intolerances to food and always wondered as to why I couldn't eat anything. I was left with grilled chicken and veggies. I found that it was hard to eat at friends' birthday parties and out with family and restaurants. Little did I know, whenever I was diagnosed with celiac disease in March 2020, it would change my life for the better. It made huge differences, though, in my family and with myself. Today, I would like to share with you the 4 main steps of learning that a gluten-free lifestyle can be beneficial to anyone. My 4 points will be, today, we will be identifying gluten, we will identify the negative effects of a gluten-filled diet, we will identify the negative effects of a gluten-free diet, and then identify the benefits to having a gluten-free lifestyle. My first point will be identifying gluten. We have to know what we're talking about and where to find it. Well, gluten is actually the protein that's found in wheat, and it's the thing that makes food sticky and hold together. It can be found in several different things. It's amazing of all the food that it's found in. It consists of whey, being in rye, being in a lot of different grains such as oats and barley. It's also found in malt, which is also found in malt milkshakes. Might ring a bell. Those were good before I was diagnosed with celiac disease. It's also found in a lot of different processed foods, such as fried foods, cakes, crackers, flour, any type of finger foods. And it's also found in many different soups, sauces, cookies, and medicines. So now that you know what gluten is and where it can be found, you can learn the negative effects of putting it in your body. According to paleolete.com, it states that people who don't have a celiac disease problem have the same symptoms when they eat gluten as the people who have been diagnosed with a gluten intolerance problem. They also state that eating gluten can cause brain fog, it can be a skin irritant, and also give you daily fatigue. It can also cause gut inflammation, nausea, and it can make your abdomens very, very weak and your digestion very, very weak and poor. It also does not help with your bloodstream because it can open up bacteria to get in your bloodstream. It's very, very dangerous. Next, we will have the negative effects of having a gluten-free diet in your life. The first thing will be eating out. Fast food is always quick and always seems to be the best option, but not for anyone dealing with celiac sprue. We have a very hard time finding something that hasn't been cross-contaminated with gluten. Anytime you go to a fast food restaurant, that means highly processed food, which means a lot of gluten, and it's not a good thing for us. We have to avoid it. The next thing would be restaurants. Restaurants have a little bit more of a variety, but it's still extremely difficult. You have to request a gluten-free menu if they have it. It's better for cross-contamination because you can request specific things to be placed on the side so they don't come in contact with gluten. You can't do that with fast food. But the higher end restaurant you're in, the better choice and pure choice of food you have to eat. And lastly, vitamin deficiencies. Eating gluten-free can steer you away from a lot of foods that also have vitamins. So it's best to have a vitamin that you can take on the daily to help with this. Next, we're going to talk about my final point, which is the overall benefits of having a gluten-free lifestyle. This means that no gluten means a healthy thyroid. A healthy thyroid means a fast metabolism, and a fast metabolism means a lot of energy. And having a gluten-free lifestyle actually promotes healthy and natural weight loss, which is what everyone seems to want. It helps the body in anti-inflammatory responses and also helps you with a calm digestion. This is something that if someone deals with celiac disease, they want to make sure that they have. This also can save a life, and it can save your life if you choose to eat gluten-free. It actually raises HDL, which is your good cholesterol. You want to keep that up. But it lowers your risk of getting a heart attack, cancer, and diabetes. It really shows that what you put in your body can help determine how long you'll actually live on this earth. Many people wonder, well, if I eat gluten-free, what can I eat? The past few years there has been an enlarged selection. There's gluten-free bread, pasta, brownies, cakes, muffins, yogurt, anything you could name could be gluten-free. The industry has really opened up a lot for us with celiac sprue, or those who decide to eat gluten-free, with a lot of different options and variety. And to go over my 4 main points, we identified gluten, we identified the negative effects of eating gluten, we identified the negative effects of eating gluten-free, and the overall benefits to having a gluten-free lifestyle. Although my struggling growing up, I didn't understand why, or why I had so many abdominal issues and digestive issues, I'm thankful for it now, because my disease, though it doesn't run in my family, helps the people around me and my family. Whenever I eat gluten-free, so does my family, and I'm thankful for such a disease as this. I leave you with 2 of my favorite quotes from anonymous authors. It states, "Good habits are as addictive as bad habits, but much more rewarding." My second quote will be, "Eat better, not less." I like to remind myself whenever I'm on a health journey with this quote. My first question today will be, how do you know you are gluten sensitive? The average symptom of being gluten sensitive is bloating, having a very sensitive abdomen even to the touch, having poor digestion, and feeling nauseous or irritable many times. My second question will be, how do you know something is officially gluten-free? Whenever you're in grocery stores, make sure to read and look for labels. It's great to look in the ingredient part of the nutritional label of the food, but that's not quite where you're going to find where it states gluten-free. You want to look for a certified gluten-free label on your package to make sure that there has been absolutely no chance of cross-contamination in your product. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. My last question will be, does gluten-free food taste better than it actually sounds? And there are many different types and brands of gluten-free foods out there today. It's just like regular food or gluten-filled food out there. There are good tasting food and bad tasting food. So it really depends what your taste palette is like. That will conclude my questions. Here are my works cited. And I hope that you end up choosing a gluten-free lifestyle that will aid you and hopefully help the people around you. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Thank you.